Hey, it's Ryan here from Lexus of Edmonton to show you this absolutely stunning Lexus GS 350 all-wheel drive. These cars, in my opinion, are the most beautiful vehicles that we sell next to, perhaps the LFA that we have in the showroom right now. Just kind of gonna move around and let you take in a bunch of the different angles to really appreciate the design and contour of the front grille and just the vehicle itself. It's an extremely aggressive look, an excellent update from last year's version. Underneath the hood, it's a V6 engine, 3.5 liter, 306 horsepower, 277 torque, and with all that power you're getting a combined fuel economy of about 9.5 liters per 100 kilometers, so it's amazingly efficient for the kind of power you have in this engine, and it's so fast. Getting this thing out on the highway, and it's an amazing drive and handles just absolutely beautifully. I've had plenty of time inside this vehicle myself, or vehicles, not the specific one, but vehicles like it. So we'll check out the mirror. You can see the integrated turn signal. They're power folding, power adjustable, they're heated, and they save with the seat memory too. It's a little bit hard for you to see, but there's a tiny little spot in the window there. It's actually a blind spot indicator. I really don't know if you can make that out or not, but it'll light up in red or in orange when there's someone in your blind spot when you're driving on the freeway, so it's really easy. You almost don't even need to shoulder check. I might not recommend not shoulder checking, but you almost don't need to with your mirrors properly positioned and that blind spot indicator there. It's really quick to know what's going on around you. The color on this is the crimson red, and it's just stunning to see in person. You have to come down and take a look at this car out in the sunlight with this paint job on it. And the wheels are very classy, kind of spoked design with the really nice chrome finish around the windows. Alright, now we're going to take a look inside the amazing interior of the GS 350. So first we'll check out the door panel. I'll give you a second just to kind of look at the leather work and the design work with the dark black wood grain trim. So there's the seat settings, or the memory seat, and then of course your power locks, power windows, and mirror control. Little flap for papers and envelopes down there. We'll come down and take a look at the seat settings here. I believe they're 16-way seat settings. So really, it's really kind of designed for the sport driver, like you can get all the support that you need to be taking really tight corners and plenty of fast acceleration and that kind of thing. That's the reason we have this much worked into this vehicle. Down on the lower left, the power trunk, the hood release. Coming up top here, we have the on and off switch for the blind spot monitors. I don't know why you would ever shut them off. And the traction control button to shut that off in case you would get this thing stuck in snow or something like that and need to spin the tires. As well as the heated steering wheel button is there. Take a look down here. That is the power tilt and telescopic adjust for the steering column. As well as a few other buttons for your odometer and your trip odometer settings, as well as the heads-up display that I'll go over in a minute. So now I'm going to get in. It's already running because it was sitting out on the lot, so the battery needs to charge. It's push button start, as with all Lexus vehicles. So now we'll start over here on the left of the steering wheel with the steering wheel audio controls. You have the volume knob, obviously, right here. This will be your track and channel selection, and mode will be taking you from the different settings of, if you want to be on the radio or the satellite radio, CD player, auxiliary input. That's going to be changed with the press of this button here, all without taking your hands off the wheel. Little fob on the side there is for your light, different light settings with automatic mode. If we take a look over here on the right hand side of the steering wheel, you'll see the Bluetooth controls. This unit's also equipped with paddle shifters. Down here on the lower right is the cruise control. Now I'm going to show you the heads-up display. It might be a little bit tricky to see, but you can kind of see that little 0 out there floating in space. And that's going to be your heads-up display. So it's going to show you your speed. You can also set it to show you your engine RPMs and a couple other little things. So you have that right there. You barely even have to take your eyes off the road to have a quick glance at that. It's just right in your windshield. Awesome little feature. Now we'll check out the screen. I believe it's 12.5 inches, which is a world first I'm reading about for this size of a screen inside of a vehicle for the navigation system. It's sunk in deep into the dash for a reason, so that when you're out looking at the road, it's so easy to just take a glance down there without taking your eyes off the road for too long. One thing you'll notice too is the very classy analog clock. I think it's a very nice touch that they added to this model. The screen up here is controlled via the Lexus remote touch system, which is this device down here. It kind of functions like a mouse. You just get your hand down there and you move this around, and that's going to control your cursor up on the screen. You can see the little triangle one. And you can move it over onto this side too, and it'll kind of snap to the buttons over here. So when you're out on the map, it's kind of free-flowing. When you go to a button, it'll just snap to the button so that you can easily select what you're looking for. So now there's a menu button down here, and then we'll see it go to the main menu where there's all kinds of things that you can go over with the vehicle, from the map and destination to the vehicle and system information, vehicle settings and other setup options. Your radio is the next one over, followed by other media content, as well as the climate control can be done through here too, and setting up your phone for your hands-free phone. So now we'll take a look a little lower down on the console, and you'll see the classic kind of stereo knobs, the tuner and the volume one, as well as the driver and passenger temperature controls, and some fan settings and things like that. One button I will point out is the rear window defrost button is also the heated mirror button. So that's where that control is. If we come down here, first I'll show you up here is the heated and cooling seats. And then underneath this wood grained finished piece here is the 2 cup holders. So now we'll check out the leather wrap shifter knob. It's a very comfortable, I find, to drive with this. I hold it all the time, and it just sits there really nice. And the armrest is just perfectly located as well. You'll notice it's got the manual mode, tap shift manual mode. This car is also equipped with 3 or 4 different driving modes that are controlled through this knob right here. So when you just start up the vehicle, it's going to be in normal, and if you want to make it in the economy mode, you twist it and let go, and then that changes the vehicle to the eco mode, and it'll be running the engine, and the throttle control will actually change in the vehicle to help you drive nicely and keep it in the low RPMs and keep the fuel economy as best as possible. If you want it to go back to normal, as it says, you push for normal, and it goes back to your normal mode. And then there's the Sport and the Sport Plus mode, and this is the really exciting feature here. You want the Sport Plus in this car. I would not get a GS without the Sport Plus, personally. So you give it one twist, and I'll show you up here while I'm changing it. That's the Sport mode. So that changes the throttle control. I'll do that one more time. So I'm back to normal, twist once. So that's Sport mode. So the throttle control changes. You're going to get more response out of the throttle from little touches and taps. You're going to feel way more power come out of the engine. Now if I twist it a second time, you'll see it lights up the steering, the suspension, and the engine. So it's actually digitally altering all of those settings for the vehicle now. So you will notice in those corners, and you will notice in the handling, that this vehicle handles like a completely different car when you put it over in that Sport Plus mode. The throttle response is way faster, way more acceleration. You get the increased stabilization with the suspension being stiffened up, as well as the power steering kind of changes to be a little bit heavier and a little bit more sporty and controllable. So it's absolutely an amazing ride. Like, if you haven't driven one of these cars, you got to come in and at least test drive one if this is something that you're looking at or considering. So here's the armrest here. So I'll open it up. It's a little bit adjustable. A couple different spots it can sit at, if you know, to accommodate however tall you might be, however big your arms are. They got the little tray, comes in and out, slides around. Down here on the left, we've got the power outlet. On the right, you have your USB and your auxiliary inputs for your iPod or other device. Over on the passenger side, pretty basic stuff. The lock and glove box. The passenger has memory seat settings as well, 3 separate ones, and the power locks and windows control there. And the passenger seat, we're not on that side, so I can't take a look right now, but I believe it has lumbar support as well as adjustable back support, but it might not have quite as many settings as the driver's seat does in this vehicle. So if we'll look up and take a look at the mirror, just quick note on it, it automatically dims at nighttime for you. You don't have to think about it or adjust anything for that. If we look up on the top here, you have the controls for the sunroof as well as the dome lights. There is not a sunglasses holder in this vehicle. And then we'll check out the sunshades. As with all our models, you slide it, the light comes on, close, the light goes off. So I think that's a quite an in-depth overview of what this car has to offer. And as I keep saying, you got to come sit in one of these yourself. You got to come see what it's all about with your own eyes, because they are just absolutely gorgeous vehicles. Okay, now we're going to make our way to the back of the vehicle. And again, I'll give you a couple different angles to just check out what the car looks like. Just the design and the bodywork of it. So the trunk is powered, but unfortunately, because the battery is almost dead on this unit right now and it's running, I can't demo it through the remote, but I will demo it just from pushing the button inside the vehicle, so I'll show you that really quickly. Just located right down here. So hold that down for a bit, and it pops right open for you. So we'll take a look inside the cargo area really quick. It's a pass-through center seat, not a fold down. And there's the carpet floor mats are wrapped up in the bag here, as well as a leather-bound book for manuals. There's also a cargo net that comes with this package, and a fair amount of storage space in a trunk. It's a pretty large car. It's a pretty large sedan as far as sedans go, so you got room in here. And then when you're ready to close the trunk, I mean, it's always faster to just slam it shut yourself, but, you know, if you're lazy, push the button. Convenience, you know. We'll take a quick look inside the rear seats now. So on the door panels, there's the power window, water bottle holder, as well as a little ashtray in here. The front seats have the little flaps on the back, rubber floor mats both sides. The center seat armrests I've folded down here, as well as a pass-through for skis. Little bit of storage space back here, as well as a bunch of different controls for the rear passengers, including heated seats, audio controls, as well as climate controls for back here. So kind of a nice little convenience feature. And then it's the cup holders here, you just push and then they pop out. There's a power outlet right here, as well as the vents, obviously. And then there's passenger lighting on both sides up top, up here. It's pretty straightforward with the rear seats, but they do have some extra nice little features that are just convenient to have, especially if you're going to have people riding in there for a long time or going on road trips. As well, you can see just the contours and the designs of these rear seats. They're extremely comfortable. You could sit back there for hours with not a problem. Okay, so now we make our way full circle back to the front of the car. And I'm going to give you a chance to take a look at these headlights and the LED daytime running lights. Really bright, really classy looking, really visible in all weather conditions. So kind of a great safety feature in addition to looking amazing. Now if we want to check out the Lexus spindle grille, this is the redesigned grille for the 2013 model year. All of the Lexuses for this year have a spindle grille design, something like this. Based off of it, it's more or less the bent-in edges is really what gives it away. So I already popped the hood so we can take a look inside the engine compartment. If I could just find the release. There we go. So there's that 3.5 liter V6. And as I mentioned before, you're spitting out about 306 horsepower and 277 torque. So lots of juice. And you're getting pretty decent fuel economy on that too at 9.5 liters combined per 100 kilometers. So one thing you'll notice with Lexus is the really cleaned up design of the engine compartments and these insulating moldings that go over top, and they're held in place by these little pop-out black rivets. And it just kind of serves a couple purposes. You know, first and foremost, to keep dirt out of the engine components and that kind of thing, and secondly, to look nice, and third, to actually help quiet the vehicle down a little bit. But I don't think you really want to make this thing very quiet. It sounds amazing when you've got the throttle opened up. It's also the rubber seals all the way around. The unit comes with a block heater installed already. And that's about it, really. So I'll close this up and give you another nice look at this car. The Lexus GS 350 all-wheel drive. So, my name's Ryan from Lexus of Edmonton. I had a great time showing you this video, and it was a real treat to get to work on one of these cars, and I hope you enjoyed watching it as much as I enjoyed making it. So, Ryan from Lexus of Edmonton, signing off.